Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rebels TV for the 16th time in 2017. And an interesting week this week here on Rebels TV. Sean Kelly's my name. Joining me, as he does every week, Phil Partington. And Parto, the reason it's interesting is that we experienced something on the weekend that you haven't experienced in 12 years of Rebels.
A draw, Sean.
Yeah.
Never had a draw in my 11 and a half years as talent manager, and a bit of an eerie feeling after the game. You know whether to celebrate or not to celebrate, Sean. And I think that just the boys walked off the ground disappointed. They thought they could have won the game, and we probably believe as coaching staff and management staff that probably a game that slipped under the radar.
I think you might be right in that one, and really it was an interesting game of footy because it was a good game, but it was very physical at the same time as well. And you can see the scores on the screen at the moment. Only 6 goals both teams kicked throughout the course of the day each. So low scoring game, but pretty hard at it. And there were some blokes in there that showed some pretty good signs on the weekend.
Yeah, plenty of players, especially the young boys, I think, Sean. Bringing the futures around, we had 14 bottom majors playing the day, so that was great for our program, giving them an opportunity to play TAC Cup. And it was a hard game, Sean. We had 3 ambulances throughout the game that looked after players, and credit to the Rebels medical staff because the way they went about it, how professional they were looking after the welfare of the players, and they were 2 Northern Knights players and one of their own players, to look after them, and the welfare and the care support for those players was outstanding, Sean.
Speaking of which, Luke Bull obviously was the Rebels player that we're referring to. Have we heard how he's going?
Yeah, certainly have. Bully's out of hospital, he's okay, he's walked out of hospital, which is really good, so bit of a heavy knock to the midriff, and he'll be having a week's rest and getting assessed this week, Sean.
Well, good to hear. Good thing then, development round this weekend. Some players that put their hand up for Mars Player of the Day on the weekend, but none more so than the Cobden Bullet Trent Reed. He's played some really good games of footy in the last week or so. 31 touches on the weekend, 8 tackles, and he was dominant throughout that midfield. Yeah,
he's been in fantastic form, young Reedy, and credit to him, and he deserves the Mars Player of the Day.
We caught up with him after the game. Not just us, but the Channel 9 news cameras were there as well. So you'll see a bit of the spotlight on Reedy as we caught up with him for our Mars Player of the Day segment this week with Trent Reed. Our Mars Player of the Day for round 14, Trent Reed. Reedy, congratulations, mate. But I suppose first things first, a draw. How did that feel when the siren went and you knew that you didn't win, but you didn't lose?
Yeah, like we fought a good contest, and I was just, when that final siren went, I was just shocked. Like, we had it up in our half for most of that last quarter and we just couldn't convert. But that happens in footy, I guess.
It does. A bit more responsibility for you in the last couple of weeks with a couple of players out of the midfield rotation. Cal Welling's not playing, Tom Berry not playing. How have you found that extra responsibility in that inside mid rotation?
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to work harder, I guess, and try and help the younger fellas, so the bottom ages just sort of step up to that role. And as they did today, just so we couldn't take away with the win.
You've really cemented your place in the team now. How does that feel, knowing that you don't have to worry about where you're going to play your footy, that you're almost at that stage where you can know of a Thursday night that you're cemented in the Rebels team, you've got that spot in the midfield rotation, you can just prepare yourself that way?
Yeah, well, I prepare myself, and I just come up here Thursday night, just work as hard as I can and improve on what I need to improve on, and just trying to get the best out of myself.
The game today, pretty tough in the clinches, low scoring, really contested kind of game. Yep. It's in your ballpark, that kind of game, isn't it, though?
Yeah, I love the contest, but it was really tough, contested game today, and I guess that's all.
You went back to Cobden a couple of weeks ago during a development round and coming off the back of a bit of a knee injury. How did you find going back home and, I suppose, taking the skills that you've learnt at the Rebels back to your home club?
Yeah, well, I really learnt back at my home club playing with the bigger bodies and how they move, and Brody Marnie, ex-Rooster player, so he really helped me out through that midfield. I was swapping with him down forward, and he really helped me in that midfield as well, like sort of get me up and tell me all the structures at Cobden, so yes, he was really good.
Another development round this weekend. What's the plan to have a bit of a rest this weekend, get yourself ready for a pretty big stretch of footy?
Yeah, well, I'll just see how I pull up first, and I'll just go from there.
Our Mars Player of the Day for round 14, Trent Reed. Congratulations, Reedy. Great game.
Cheers, Shawnee. Thank you.
Trent Reed, Mars Player of the Day for round 11 against the Northern Knights. Really good game by Reedy, and a really good stretch of form that he's had as well. He's, as you heard on the interview, he's really kind of cemented his place in the side this year.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's one of those sort of players, Sean, that does everything possibly right off the field, and that transfers onto the ground.
Inside 60 time, thanks to Bluegum Clothing, and an interesting one on Inside 60 this week. A bloke we haven't seen too much of, unfortunately, on the field this year due to injury, but a very, very valuable member of the Rebels team, Louis Beddison.
Unfortunately, haven't seen him all year with an ankle injury, Shaun. Operation very surely, so really he's broken a mirror, walked in front of a black cat, or the other way around, Shaun. It's been disappointing for Louis, and also disappointing for the Rebels not to see him, but we'll see how he goes inside 60.
We will indeed. Obviously, a Ballarat and Clarendon College student, and has had a few in the gun throughout the year, so let's see how he goes here inside 60. Thanks to Bluegum Clothing, Louis Beddison.
Beto. Midfield. Paddy Dangerfield. Horsham Demons Football Netball Club. Ooh, interesting. Tom Berry. Isaac Johnson. Geordie Johnson's because he's got crap banter. Under 17s footy flag. Human Cargage. Tom Williamson.
Louis Beddison inside 60, thanks to Bluegum Clothing. Not a bad job there by
Well,
Lou.
Shaun, about time he delivered something for us.
I was going to say he's been in rehab all year, so he's had plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah, probably thought about his ex for a long time.
He has indeed. Good to see Louis Beddison up and going on Rebels TV, and hopefully we can get him up and going on the field at some stage reasonably soon. This weekend, Parto, development weekend once again for the TAC Cup. We go through a period where there's a few development weekends coming up before the finals as well, and I reckon this one's really well timed, especially from a Rebels point of view. We had 8 changes to the side on the weekend. Not one of them was an omission. They were all forced changes. A lot of boys just took the week off knowing that they had 2 weeks to get over injuries.
Yeah, development week, Shaun. We've played the second of 2 future rounds now, so good time for the body to refresh. Probably mid-season too, Shaun. We have got a Vic Country game on Friday, so hopefully we might see 1 or 2 Rebels boys in that Vic Country team. I'm sure the team hasn't been announced as yet, as filming, but good luck to those boys if they do actually play, Shaun.
That's Friday afternoon at Etihad Stadium, I believe. Free to get in, 2 p.m. at Etihad Stadium.
Yeah, free to get in, Shaun, and live on Fox Footy too, so which is great for any young football supporter to go watch the best underage football game in Australia, basically. On the weekend, Shaun, on Saturday, the Vic Country Vic Metro game, I haven't seen a better quality game of underage footy, I think, in my time. So I think all the recruiters walked away very, very happy with the performances of both teams. We
had a player in that game. Unfortunately, Cal Wellings didn't quite get to the line with a cork thigh, but Jordan Johnson went out there, made an impact early on.
Yeah, kicked a goal early on. Probably had a chance for 2 goals. So look, he's okay. He wasn't fantastic. So he's had the opportunity to play Vic Country. Just needs now a big second half for the Rebels.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Plans for this weekend, obviously, boys will go home, play with their home clubs. We'll have a few that'll obviously rest up that have had those niggling injuries as well, because a couple of big games coming up here at Eureka Stadium after the bye weekend.
Yeah, hopefully the Eureka Stadium precinct will be open, Shaun. We had a bit of the grandstand open on the weekend, so looking forward to the whole stadium being open, and more importantly, looking forward to the AFL game on the 19th of August.
Yeah,
Western Bulldogs versus the Port Adelaide team.
Tickets on sale for that as well this Monday for club members. If you're not a Bulldogs club member, you'll have a crack at it Wednesday, the 5th of July, for any remaining tickets. So check out the Ticketmaster website for those throughout the course of the week. Parto, that's all the time we've got this week. Good luck on the weekend for Vic Country.
Thanks, Shaun. Looking forward to it. So make sure you just watch the game on Fox Footy.
Make sure you do that, Fox Footy, or get down to Etihad Stadium on Friday afternoon if you can. That's all the time we've got for Rebels TV for this week. We'll see you again next Wednesday night at 6 p.m. right here on Rebels TV.